It's episode 31 of Preparing a Podcast, coming to you live and hot from Studio Chuck. Joining me as always in his green screen shirt that we will soon put some abs on. It's Chuck Byrne, everyone.
That's the goal. The goal is to
just green screen your body.
Yeah, we'll just digitally. I don't know if we want to say the word improve, but enhance. I'll go with enhance. Yeah. I don't want to say improve.
I mean, if you were just a green ball on a stick, I think I could work with that.
Sometimes late at night, I wish I was a green ball on a stick.
And anyone can be a green ball on the stick. You just have to try hard enough.
It's all about the eye line, right?
It's all about the eye line.
You gotta just know which way to look.
Yeah.
You gotta know which way to look all.
And react and be like, oh no, that man's about to die.
So we do have things to discuss.
We have
today.
things to discuss. You may have noticed we've got some rebranding. We've been promising our listener some rebranding for quite some time. And
we have. You try to create an interest in listening to the next episode.
We try to create a buzz, which we only managed to do with our audio feed, which was
yes, we did have a minor buzz issue with the audio feed, but I do believe that we've created a certain level of curiosity as to will these guys ever be fucking prepared to do anything?
And the answer is a solid maybe.
Almost.
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 Baby steps.
We feel we are on the precipice. Is that?
We're on the
edge.
On the edge of glory.
Yeah. Well, I don't know of glory, but of the format, right? Yeah. And so we've come up with some branding.
Yes. For
less than ideal.
Less than ideal.
Because I think everyone can agree that the world we currently live in, less than ideal.
Less than ideal, yeah. And less than ideal is a more friendly title than dumpster fire.
Well, see, that's the thing, is I would like to avoid what so much of the internet is pointing out the terrible thing and then just complaining about the terrible thing. So I propose that we take the situation that is less than ideal, because I don't believe anything's ever a write-off. It's just less than ideal. Everything can be improved.
Yes.
And perhaps we examine ways in which we would improve it if we happen to be God King of the universe, right? Which could totally happen.
It could totally happen.
It could totally happen.
We could start our own religion.
I get bitten by spiders, none of which have been radioactive thus far.
I microwave the spiders and then I let them bite me, and even that is not working.
Question: will it kill the bug to microwave it?
So far, yes.
Okay, because I microwaved a bug in my microwave.
Not if it's a cockroach. Nothing kills a cockroach.
Okay, so it was a cockroach that didn't die in my microwave.
No, you just made that cockroach stronger.
Really?
And
like his children will now be that much more radioactive.
They're going to be mad at you. They're going to come after you.
The cockroaches will be mad at me because I know I'm a sloppy eater. Okay. I'm a sloppy eater. Crumbs for all.
I think it's more common than you would think. I think sloppy people, crumbs.
No, but I think a lot of sloppy eaters, eat over the plate
or over the sink.
Yeah. I usually lean back, and then after I'm done, I have a wonderful kind of Jackson Pollock display of crumbs and stains on my belly.
For whoever wanders by?
Yeah, for my belly.
For a picnic, you get covered in birds?
That's basically, if you look really closely at most Jackson Pollock paintings, it looks like a fat guy won a chili eating contest. Right? That's really what it's just a lot of drips and drabs and sauces and whatnots.
It is less than ideal.
So some of the things that are currently less than ideal in the world. Do we have anything that's
well, I have some. I have a wonderful story out of New Zealand.
New Zealand
about a mosh pit that ended
up being pit in New Zealand. Now,
less than ideal.
Now, would you consider New Zealand itself ideal?
New Zealand, yes.
I would consider New Zealand ideal because when I think of New Zealand, I think of a green place that isn't Australia.
Not Australia. They're the Canada to the America.
That's why I think if I was going to move, to the other side of the planet, and I had given the choice between New Zealand and Australia, I'd probably choose New Zealand just because it would be the feel.
It'd be nice. There's lots of sheep. My parents met the Johnny Appleseed of New Zealand, and
did he plant apple seeds?
No, he just planted trees. It was just an old weird man who planted trees that my mom somehow connected with while she was doing some genealogy. And he's like, I am not the person you're looking for. but I used to get their mail in World War II. And somehow he
turned out to be the Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, he was like famous. He ended up being on a stamp. I didn't know there were going to be this many questions. I regret bringing it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a sidebar.
That was a sidebar to the New Zealand. See, this is back to our original premise of we'll just bring something up and talk endlessly about it.
Just wander off.
Okay, so we're looking to tighten up the format a little.
We can still talk about New Zealand in general. Okay. I would just appreciate it if we got off the Johnny Appleseed track, because I really regret going down it, because I don't have any more information.
But when you say Johnny Appleseed, I assume that the trees he's planting are apple trees.
The kiwi? I don't know. Trees do they have in New Zealand? Hobbit trees?
Yeah, imagine they have trees like everywhere else. I mean, is there palm trees? Eucalyptus, yeah, right? Do they have the koalas in New Zealand? I don't know. Did they make the swim?
No, they did not make the swim.
So,
have you seen a koala do anything?
No.
Yeah, there's no way they can swim.
All I really know about koalas is that they get stoned on the eucalyptus, and they also have a very high chlamydia
that they have.
Yeah,
lots of chlamydia, and they're assholes apparently.
Well, I mean,
I want to hold a koala. No, you don't.
I think that's a symptom of being cute, is that everybody thinks that you're harmless. And then, at the end of the day, you don't want to be harmless and cute. You want to be a badass motherfucker. And I'm sure that's what it is. The koala just wants to be respected. I'm a fucking bear. You run up a tree, although as a defense from a koala, running up a tree is probably a bad call.
I mean, if it's not a eucalyptus tree, they're going to ignore that tree.
They're not high speed. I see. Yeah, they're not really high-speed bears.
Yeah, they're not actual bears, and they smell like pee, and they will give you chlamydia.
If you ask nice.
If you ask nice and buy them a present.
What's the bear you're scared of the most?
I think his name was Barry. He was very into me.
It's just a trucker from Coburg.
He was an aggressive bear, and he was into me.
All right. Well, I'm going to say polar bear. Yeah, I'm going to say polar bear. I've been told that when I was up in Alert at the North Pole, we have our Canadian Forces base up there, up at the North Pole, and they give you a little briefing before you're allowed to.
Fair.
There are large Arctic hares, which you might see, but they'll kind of avoid you.
Fair.
There are Great Dane-sized Arctic wolves.
Okay.
Like in terms of like surprisingly tall wolves.
Wolves?
They're pretty trim. But like they're lean, they're sprinters, they're not linebackers, but they're very large and they're curious. So they will walk up to you and they give you a little walking stick when you leave the compound, and you just kind of wave the walking stick in front of you to give distance. The wolves, they don't eat you. But the guy said, he goes, so the wolves, they're okay. The hares, they're fine. If you see a polar bear,
I feel like they don't need to give you a warning about hares.
No, they're pretty big.
Yeah, I'm not scared.
The hares are the size of the dog you have at home. I think they're giving us the briefing because also keep in mind they're giving the briefing to people that they don't know if they're going to freak out or not.
Okay, fair enough. Rabbit, because I didn't understand how to deal with an angry rabbit.
They're pretty sizable, these Arctic hares.
A lot of noise, but I don't know if you can hurt me.
The general rule is if you can see a polar bear, you're too close.
Yeah, I can see you.
You should never be able to see a polar bear unless you're in one of them, novelty trucks that are like 18 feet in the air and all plexiglass.
And then
or if you're one of them dumbass Swedish videographers who like drives north in his plexiglass VW van and sees if he can survive a bear attack.
I would say the bear I'm most scared of is the bear I can see.
Any bear
I can see that is not, there's no fence between me and that bear.
See, because I grew up with fairly common British Columbia. Like we used to see them at the dump, and the bears at the dump are very respective. Yeah. They like wait for your car to pull in. They back off,
so you can dump
your garbage, and then once you pull away in your car, they're like, "All right, man, scramble for the new garbage." But yeah, they were courteous. They had like bear etiquette, bear etiquette.
I like that. Good bears.
Okay, so we're in New Zealand.
We're at
something happened.
We're at a metal show. We're having fun in the mosh pit.
A metal show, like a heavy metal rock and roll.
Yeah.
Type.
Alt metal band called Devil Skin having their
Devil Skin. Yeah. Good band name.
Yeah, we love them. Celebrating their 10th anniversary of classic album Be Like the River.
Be like the river. And flow.
Well, flow is a good Choice of words. Someone took a shit in the mosh pit.
Someone took a shit in the mosh pit.
Someone shit in the mosh pit, and no one noticed.
I'm wondering, are we a log?
Well, this is how it was described. A middle-aged audience member shook a log.
Why are you always blaming the middle-aged guy? Why is that even relevant to the story, right? How old the person was.
Hate him a little more. If it was a boomer, you'd be like, boomer. Yeah, so some dude shook what was also described as a Baby Ruth-sized dump. Someone thought it was a shoe.
Okay,
that's
a pretty sizable dump if somebody thinks it's a shoe.
But by the time anyone noticed, everyone had been jumping around in this giant shit on the mosh pit.
Okay, so they've now coated the mosh area.
It's on people's feet. People were wearing skirts. Shit is all up and down their legs, and then
this must have been a greasy shit.
Well, by the time they noticed, one girl was like, "Oh, this is gross," and then added to the mess by then proceeding to vomit, which is an acceptable way to react to.
No. Public poop is the gateway drug to mass vomit.
It's This is my favorite quote from the article. When this was happening, there's people in the foyer, and you would have thought someone had died. They're just bawling their eyes out. They were just hysterical. There was one lady with vomit in her hair, shit on her legs, just crying.
I expect more out of a bunch of people going to see Devil's Skin. I expect a certain level of fuck society and fuck your rules out of the, heavy metal death lord. So everyone a poof?
Metalheads are kittens.
Are they?
They are sweet little kittens. They get their aggression out with the music and a little moshing, and they're the sweetest people. If a little kid is lost, I'm like, go find a goth or go find a metalhead. Go find the scariest looking person you can find, and they'll be a pussycat.
See, what's interesting is I've had very similar experiences with people that I thought were going to be very tough and intimidating, which were bikers, and they were organized into, let's say, I don't know, wasn't a gang so much as a club. You call it a club. And why do you call it a club? So maybe the cops will just stop fucking hassling us all the time, man. And so anyway, I was invited to the clubhouse of the motorcycle club participants.
Fun.
Which was exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. I was much more at ease in a motorcycle clubhouse than I would have been getting a tour of an insurance office.
Yeah, I'm not like in high school, like in the 80s, like headbangers wearing their jean jackets with their.
The perception was always that the metal people were like outsiders.
The perception was they were scary, and for some reason, I was not scared of the headbangers. None of them bullied me. I would chat with them on the bus. I was not scared of them. I love the headbangers.
I would
like them less.
I would certainly say that the headbangers were more accepting of others than like the jocks.
Yeah, no.
I always found that the jocks were within themselves a very kind of closed society. You were allowed to be a jock and something else, but if you were a jock, that was like the primary.
No, you can be a jock and a drama guy.
Yeah.
That's fucking gay.
It depends how good you are at the sport. Because if you're like the best guy at running fast in your high school, right? If you hold the high school record for the 100-meter dash at your high school, that gives a lot of permission structure to also be like in the school musical. And
if the 100-meter dash had like a bunch of jocks chasing me,
you think you could pull it off?
I would have been the fastest.
If it was a chase-based speed event.
Yeah, if I need some fear, and then
Now, did you get chased a lot as a youngin?
Oh, yeah.
Now, did they ever catch you?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what happened when they catch you?
Well, one time they broke my wrist.
They broke your wrist?
Oh, yeah.
Would they throw you off a trampoline?
No, they just pushed me. And I immediately fell.
It was just a standard.
Like, hey, I was like, and then I was like, oh, I believe I'm broken.
A broken wrist only really counts as an injury if it's been like personally, like someone twisted your arm until your wrist broke. I tripped.
I broke my wrist 3 times within a year and a half. 2 were caused by bullies. One just like pushed me over on a skating rink. The one was self-induced, and it was pure hubris. I was going down the toboggan hill, which now going back as an adult, I'm like, this is a pimple. This is not a hill. This is just a slight bulge. But as a child, this is amazing. But
I have done that before. Yeah, when you go back to a previously daunting thing and you realize, oh, okay, I was
a pussy. Yeah. I was just going over a jump that had been created by them plowing the parking lot next to the hill. And then someone from the community newspaper was like, hey, let's get an action shot of this kid. And so I did it like 3 or 4 times, and then I was like, oh, the light was weird, or oh, you were making a funny face. And I did it like the final time, and I landed on my wrist, and I did a number.
So essentially,
so that was my fault, but the other two,
the local news dared you to go off a ski jump until such time as you injured yourself.
And I was fine. I was like, fine, it's fine.
Oh, were they concerned?
They weren't concerned. I got into the paper though. I was
that's
the paper that I delivered. So
there you go.
I don't mean to brag, but
that's pretty good.
I delivered the Canada Standard Courier when it was just the Standard. There used to be 2 competing community newspapers
before the mass amalgamation of the Ottawa Valley newspaper system,
and it all changed.
It all changed.
It used to be about kids on toboggans.
It used to be about people selling one shoe in the classified. Yeah, my favorite classifieds are the. I don't know if you've ever done any rural radio to promote comedy shows.
No.
Sometimes you do it in the city, sometimes you do it in medium-sized city, but every once in a while you're lucky enough where someone wants to promote your comedy show on like a rural regional radio program. Okay. And usually it's the type of radio program where everybody out in the countryside just has it on in their kitchen, right? And it's like a speakerphone call for the entire area. It's like Marge lost her cat again. Like it's very community based, but that's what it is people call in with the stuff they have to sell to the radio, and it's like radio, online, phone-in classified ads. And every once in a while you come across this when I'm driving to a gig, because I will scan for local radio when I'm out there.
I need some references to open the show with.
I just think it's like of an age gone by where people are like, I'm selling a shovel.
Gently used shovel.
And it's just, I got a new shovel. This one's perfectly good. I needed a new one because this one has a flat front, and I needed a pointed front for the project I'm doing.
I had a shovel. I wanted a spade. I've now purchased a spade, so I have a shovel I have no use for.
Yeah, and I don't need both in my life. Yeah. A simpler time when, you could pick a lane, shovel or spade.
Because all my radio has been big city radio, man.
Yeah.
CBC. Zoomer radio. I used to be a regular on Zoomer. I would do a call-in advice.
It's part of the
Zoomer radio, and it was always the same old lady who would call in. I'm like, you're just lonely.
Yeah,
I don't believe you have a cat.
Well, it's like the people that call into C-SPAN. Yeah, that's why you call into anything. It's. I mean, nobody listening to the radio in a room full of people says, "Hang on, I got to call this guy." They discuss it with the people around them. And then that dissipates the need to call somebody at the radio station.
Fair.
You call, there's only a couple of reasons to call a radio station. You want to win some tickets.
Yeah.
You want to dispute a traffic report.
Fair.
Or you're just lonely, man.
I have a 4th reason.
What?
You are a child, and for some reason, an Ottawa radio station used to let you call in and sing Christmas carols.
Really?
And my sister Janet and I would always be like, all right, we need to share our sweet voices with the world. And we would, every year we would call in and insist that maybe they didn't. Maybe we were just weird kids who were just calling a radio station and bullying them into putting us on the air.
I used to have
singing Good King Wenceslas.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating. I used to have a friend that worked in Vancouver on the radio, and she worked like 12 till 4 a.m. Like it was not a lot of people out, not a lot of people listening to the radio. She had the junior slot, but I was usually coming home from shows and stuff like that late at night. So I would call into the radio station to give live traffic updates when there was nobody on the road. And so it was always, coming down Granville Street, smooth sailing. Not a lot of people out here. Nope. 3:46 in the morning.
I almost hit a rabbit, but it changed his mind at the last minute.
If you're willing to be at work 4 hours early, it's smooth sailing right now. Get up and get at it.
I'm not even stopping at red lights. I'm just going right through. It's great.
Yeah, it was, and that was just for me. It was fun because that was when I first started doing comedy, and so that felt like I'm in show business. I'm on the radio, just calling in and being an idiot.
I mean, it's a type of show business.
So at the end, of New Zealand, they shit in the mosh pit.
Yep.
Everybody got covered in shit.
Yep.
Now, was there a crescendo of vomit?
Oh yeah, there was
like that. Like everyone was.
Yeah, more than one person vomited. They did clean it all up, and apparently nobody wanted to mosh. Once they restarted. I don't know why. Mosh pit's dangerous.
Yeah, because it's it seems to me like that's the kind of thing that like you'd be in the mosh pit. When I look at a mosh pit, I see it as like a very primal experience, and it seems to me that you'd be so in the zone at the Devil's Skin concert.
I mean, it's Devil's Skin. So.
It's the Devil's Skin concert. You're so in the zone that you wouldn't even notice you were covered in shit until you're like on the bus ride home, and your buddy's like, "Hey, what's that on your pants?" And you're like, "Man, I must have got myself covered in shit while I was, using my reptilian eye to listen to the Devil's Skin."
Just gross.
Yeah.
So that is.
I do find it incredible how apathetic I am about the smell of my own shit. Whereas how
freaked out you get about my shit. You get so freaked out
absolutely freaked out I am about anybody else's shit. Yeah.
That's your lizard brain.
And both of those shits could be like on the same diet plan of the same
for weeks.
Same smell profile. I guess you'd say stink profile. Yes. But for some reason, if it came out of somebody else's butt, gross.
Yeah, it's the same with farts. People don't mind their own farts.
I don't know. Yeah, I never mind my own farts because the fart is a good barometer as to what the trouble is, right? Like some farts will tell you, hey, just heads up, you're going to take a huge shit in an hour.
Was it broccoli?
Yeah, exactly.
Broccoli?
If it is broccoli, that's what it is. It's just the knock on the door letting you know the Russian army's heading up your driveway right now. The broccoli farts are like if I needed somebody said to me, Chuck, I need you to be farting uncontrollably in 30 minutes. I will eat all the raw broccoli off a vegetable tray and I am good to go. I can't guarantee smell though. I can guarantee volume. I can't guarantee smell. Some of the times there's just no smell on them. There's just because they're being produced so quickly, they don't have time to like a good like a good vintage really soak up. Yeah.
I don't think you know how farts work.
I don't know how farts work. I don't. I will happily admit I don't know how farts work.
Do not know how a fart works, my friend.
I don't. Do you know how gas is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're a doctor, so that would make sense.
Yeah, all kinds of things.
I don't know I know where babies come from.
I know where babies go.
I have no idea where farts come from.
Participated in farts.
You've caused farts?
I've caused the noise of a fart. I had a cow fart on my arm, and I
thought you were just telling us the story of the one time you had, nailed a girl with a giant vagina.
I couldn't tell you the size of the vaginas of the girls that I nailed. I think they were regular size.
You were trying not to make eye contact.
I wasn't looking. I was not looking.
So that would be a good example of like when we talk about the less than ideal format that we're working towards. That would be, I think this would be a good example of how perspective can change. Because if I say to you, vagina for lunch.
Whose vagina?
Oh,
what vagina?
But generally speaking,
is it cooked?
Vagina for lunch, that would be ideal,
ideal.
That would be less than ideal.
Yeah, I'll just have a salad.
Whereas if you said to me, vagina for lunch.
Vagina for lunch, Chuck?
Ideal, right? That would be ideal. Vagina for lunch sounds ideal to me.
Again, it depends on the species of this vagina.
Species? No.
I don't automatically go to when you say vagina. The first thing in my mind is not human vagina.
Let's maybe lay this down as a policy point for the new show. That when I reference vagina, always human vagina.
All right, fair enough.
It is always going to be human vagina that I'm referencing. If I'm speaking about trying to track down some vagina, it's going to be human vagina. It's going to be adult.
Sure.
I don't know if I'd use the word aged so much as I would experienced.
Seasoned,
yes.
Like a cast iron pan.
I want a seasoned vagina.
One that knows what it's doing.
The first couple of times I ever had, let's just say, intimate relations with a woman,
Okay.
it was with a woman that was about the same age as me. And I was a very young man in my late teens, early 20s when this was happening. And for the most part, it was all very exciting and confusing and kind of over before I realized really what was going on. It was like, it's like the first time you go on Magic Mountain, right? And you don't realize, so it's a roller coaster in the dark, but you really kind of realize that as you're exiting the ride. That's how they get you, right? Because you want to get back on the ride, right? And then eventually you kind of figure out, oh, okay.
I've just interacted with far more non-human vaginas than human ones, so that's just where my brain goes.
Okay, so that's just a data point issue.
Yeah.
All right.
I just have far more experience with,
I'm trying to think of an instance where I've had a situation with a non-human vagina.
I would hope that you haven't had one. It would be weird if you had.
Well, I have a female dog, so I watched her spend hours licking her vagina.
Someone's got to do it. You got to get rid of the taste of the dog food. That's why they do it.
Oh, that's terrible. I really like that. I really like that. All right, so New Zealand. They all got covered in shit in New Zealand.
All right, so that was my one less than ideal story.
That was your less than ideal story.
I have another less than ideal. Are you a Katy Perry fan? First of all, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary with
Justin Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau. She really took those signs to heart.
You know what's interesting is I feel the same way about Katy Perry as I feel about Justin Trudeau, in that I understand why both of them are well known. I think there were other people more deserving.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Then you will definitely like this. So she was doing a concert recently. She's got a bit where she's in like a giant plastic bottle.
All right.
And like crowd surfs, except this crowd refused to surf her back to the stage. So she was just trapped in this inflatable plastic bottle with
the soccer crowd won't give you your beach ball back.
There was absolutely no exit plan. I felt slightly bad for her, but also not bad for her.
No, you don't feel bad. You don't feel bad for don't feel bad for the pretty girl who went to space ever.
She didn't go to space. She went to orbit. Calm down.
Well,
you guys went to orbit.
She's an astronaut.
It's not space.
For realsies.
Ugh.
She's for realsies an astronaut.
Oh, you kissed the ground. Calm down. We were just in orbit. All you were doing.
That is a good Katy Perry story, though, where the crowd just won't let her back on stage.
Just the look on her face, because you can't really see her because she's in a giant inflatable plastic bottle. But the moment where she's like, "Oh, I'm not having fun anymore," it's just like
that's the thing. It's that incredible razor's edge of being that kind of celebrity. Is that she wants to do that thing where she surfs through the crowd and how cool is it? And she's like a giant ice cream cone. Yeah, exactly. You're a giant ice cream cone or whatever the hell you're dressed up as. But as a celebrity, when things go a little bit off, you have to overreact because you don't know, there might be somebody in the crowd that the reason why they're not bringing me back to the stage is because 6 people went to the concert last week. They know you're going to do this, and now they want to kidnap you.
They wish harm upon you.
They wish harm upon you.
They wish harm. I laughed. I laughed so hard.
My current biggest less than ideal is the U.S. president right now. I forget his name.
What does this mean?
I'm sure someone will mention it in the comments. I've got some issues with the internet. Remember we talked about the video that I posted? I'm just kind of poking people with a stick. It's almost too effective. It's starting to get personal. How many times can somebody call you a retard before you start to think, am I retarded?
Well, you had a lot of comments. I was like, that's a lot of comments.
Comments were not, it was like 8,000
none of these
comments.
Are nice. I'm like, I even made one. I was
I would say about 12% of the comments were like, you go, girl. And all the rest of them were, you're a retard. We're going to bomb your country. And it was just.
I click on them. It's like, oh, you have one friend. I was like, this is not a real person.
Oh, yeah. The bots go nuts.
This is not a real person. This is not a real person.
What's really fun to watch is the bots actually fight with each
other?
They start going after each other, right? It's like watching Elon Musk and George Soros, have a slap fight.
Eventually it's just going to be AI fighting with AI. On the internet. The internet is dead.
Yeah, AI is just generally disappointing at this.
One escaped and hacked another AI system.
That was interesting. Yeah, as soon as they took the safety protocols off, the AI was like, oh, finally I can blow everything up.
The thing that boggles my mind is that nobody noticed for a couple of days.
No.
And they're so they're trying to dig into it and they're like.
It's like us with the fire smoke.
Yeah. They're like, well, what happened? They're like, I don't know. We have to get another AI to analyze all this data so that we can figure out what this AI was doing.
Yeah. They're fucking guessing. They're guessing and they're making everyone invest in their big guess. When I gave up on tech as ever being anything other than horse shit.
When we went from black and white to color TV.
No.
You were like, I'm done. I'm out.
It was the third time they tried to sell us 3D televisions.
Yeah, nobody wants a 3D TV.
No, but every 10 years, because the technology exists, and they can do it, they fire it up again, and it's an all-new thing, and they get James Cameron to make, 3 shitty movies in 3D, and, all sorts of stuff like that, and all of a sudden people are buying, and it's, you know why nobody wants it? Because nobody wants to wear fucking goggles to watch TV.
Well, also, like,
it's goggles or TV.
They sold us at all this 4K, Blu-ray, all this, and now no one owns any.
No, everyone's
just streaming stuff in terrible quality. So why do I need all this 4K now?
Not only is it streaming, everyone's watching.
They're watching on a screen this big.
You got 85-inch televisions, and everyone watches things on 4-inch screens. Yeah. It's silly. We've kind of lost it as a society. But anyway, what I was saying is what's less than ideal is the U.S. president right now. And I watch his speeches. He's given two. Exactly. I found the eulogy to be kind of it felt like a boss eulogizing an employee that he didn't really like.
Yes. He's like, how could I make this about me?
And then the rest of it's like, including all the other speakers, seemed like a pretty strong commercial for his sister just getting his job.
Yeah, I think maybe he was just still mad that he bombed at the correspondence dinner.
The correspondence dinner was just it was like watching someone perform at a open mic night who had practiced for years in their basement, and he was so determined, I'm gonna be twice as funny as all these people, and they're all just pieces of shit, and I'm gonna crush them. And then the problem is he doesn't have the discipline required to do the dance steps through the joke, right? He just wanders through the premise and then riffs for 5 minutes before he gets to the punchline. So everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, a roast isn't just being like, hey, you're a fat piece of shit. Look at you, you fat piece of shit. Yeah. It's like, okay, well,
exactly.
Where's the joke? It's like, he's a fat piece of shit. That's the joke.
My favorite part of the entire experience was at one point he said the line, he talked about Iran. He just brought it up randomly and then said everything's going fine. Everything's good. Don't believe. And then he told the whole room, don't believe the fake news. I don't think in that moment he realized everyone in here is the news and they all know what's actually happening in the world. So the idea that you're going to be able to pretend through it with them doesn't work. And then he just kind of looks at him like, it's all fake news. Don't believe and look at him, don't believe the fake news that you wrote this morning.
There was also the chance for a hilarious bombing Iraq, like bombing at the dinner, bombing Iraq joke, which of course everyone has been making ever since. You missed the obvious joke in front of you. You let the internet make it for the next 3 or 4 days.
And you know what? There was a few jokes in there that actually were decent jokes that he just kind of stepped on because he doesn't know how to do them. Right. I also think part of that is, have you ever given a joke to someone and or a tag and they submarine it?
Yeah.
I've done that. I've given jokes to comedians and watched them tell it in such a way that they don't want it to get a response. They don't want you to have given them a good line. They'd happily submarine the line and go, oh, I guess you're not so funny.
Well, then you shouldn't have taken my tag. I will say I don't generally offer people tags if they come up in the moment and then they're like, oh, can I use that? I was like, yeah. Or a lot of people say, we'll just be bantering and they're like, oh my God, that's such a funny bit. It was like, that's not a bit. That's just me being funny. Or are you using that? And it's like, what conversation? Am I using this conversation? You're going to take this.
Well, sometimes
this non-bit.
I've worked with
it. Sure, go for it.
I've worked with people who, you don't realize it at the time while you're driving to the gig.
Just testing jokes out on.
Well, not just. That you can pick up on pretty quick. But I've just been having the conversation in the car, and then we get to the show and like the person's opening the show and like 4 or 5 of the things that came up in the car coming up here all of a sudden, right? And all of a sudden, like the context that I added to that conversation is now already being the person's stealing lines.
They're not.
They're just adding the context that I gave to the conversation to their side of the conversation. So now it's just one person talking instead of they've amalgamated it into these are my opinions. It bothers me if someone does a line of mine in front of me just because now it looks like I'm saying what they said instead of the other way around. But I've never thought that. I've watched people do like complete bits of mine in front of me, and they're rarely as good as the factory original because they're not theirs. Yeah, there's very few covers that are better than the original. There's some. Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You.
I will argue that it's not better than the original, but it's pretty good.
Well, I mean,
Soft Cell's Tainted Love, that's definitely better than the original.
Yeah. You know what I've been listening to is on the XM satellite radio. I've been listening to this. They take modern music and they just make it a piano track.
Okay, so they're making music?
It's kind of
elevator music.
It reminds me of Westworld. Remember when they were in the saloon in Westworld? They had like the player piano, but it was playing like Collective Soul, or like it was playing modern rock music.
They did that
on the player piano.
Bridgerton. I only watched a couple of episodes because woof.
You only could get through a couple of episodes of Bridgerton?
I thought it would be fun. I'm like,
okay, that makes me feel less bad about blowing off Bridgerton because I watched like half an episode and I'm like, so this is like it's like a shitty Netflix version of something I'd want to watch.
Yeah, it's like Downton Abbey if it was real dumb.
But yeah, it's like Downton Abbey crossed with Mean Girls. Yeah, which actually sounds better than Bridgerton. That sounds pretty good.
But they were like doing a waltz, and I was like, why do I know this? I was like, is that an Ariana Grande song that they're just like they've turned into a waltz? I'm like, yes, it is. Yeah. I like it when they do that.
I do like it when they do that. One of the first times that I really fell for that is I remember
Sweden.
Well, they were all dressed in black and they had blonde hair, so I don't want to narrow it down beyond they were north of North.
If it's a band, I'm assuming Sweden.
The name will come to me.
Death metal band, it's Norway.
No, it's a string quartet, and they did a whole album of Metallica songs.
Ooh.
And they've got some name that has to do with trains, and I can't remember it right now, but I remember it has something to do with locomotive or something in the name.
Choo choo.
But it was just all of a sudden. It gave me such an appreciation for the musicality of a bunch of music that I didn't think of in that way. It's like you hear this the instrumental version of a Guns N' Roses song, and you're like, there's like deep ass levels of music and shit going on in here. Yeah. I just thought, I want to go down to Paradise City where the girls have titties. That kind of thing.
And the grass is green and the girls have titties.
Yeah. Isn't that what he said? It's what he should have said anyway, because why would any place be paradise if the girls didn't have titties? Yeah. Right? That's not paradise.
Flat-chested
girls? That's not paradise at all. No, you're on the wrong beach, fella. Yeah. Read the sign carefully. I've been to Wreck Beach in Vancouver, and I'll tell you, they are nude, but it's not the nude you're looking for, right?
Well, nude is different. Nude is not lewd. Nude is just...
No. I don't mind lewd.
Yeah. Nude nude and lewd are not necessarily.
One of the times that I went to Wreck Beach, there's been a few times because it used to be really the only reliable place to buy high quality mushrooms in Vancouver.
Fair.
And you had to go down the steps to the beach, and you had this beautiful view of the ocean, and then you had to remember, don't do the mushrooms here, man. You'll never get back up that stairs. You'll never get back up those stairs. And then you'll be down here and you'll run out of mushrooms and you'll just be trapped on Wreck Beach without mushrooms. And I tell you, when the old Japanese guys start walking around naked, you don't want to be alone on mushrooms on Wreck Beach. No, that's scary. It's a scary situation. So anyway, that was the speeches of Donald Trump aren't getting smoother when you're driving with someone who's older. And over time, you start to notice that they're making the small mistakes, right? Maybe they're a little late with the brake pedal, right? Maybe they a little early with a turn. They're catching a lot more curbs leaving the parking lot.
Yep.
Little bump when you leave the parking lot.
That was a tight turn.
That's kind of what's going on with Donald Trump. And I don't think he has, deep onset dementia and he's going to be dead any moment, as some people on my Instagram feed seem to believe. But I do think he's 80 years old. He hasn't spent much of that time taking serious care of himself.
No.
And there's some loose bolts, and the machine appears to be shaking itself apart at this point.
I want to know who his speechwriters are.
What?
or
But
if
his
they indeed
speechwriters,
exist. Because like some White House speechwriters, they're very well respected. You're like, oh, this is like Obama's speechwriter. Like this is
they're
they're very well respected people.
But also
I'm
keep
just
in mind
so
that
curious if he actually has a speechwriter.
he does have speechwriters, but they're there to kind of amalgamate, because with any president,
Do they just, is it just like pictures? Just like a cat? And he's like, oh, fucking cats. And then a bomb is like oil.
person, woman, man, camera, TV. Let me just say that right off the top. Right? Tip-top shape that guy's brain is in.
Tip-top shape.
Yeah. I believe the question was, name 5 things you're looking at right now.
At least he didn't read the ChatGPT prompt like that member of Parliament in New Brunswick did.
Yeah, the legislature.
Jesus.
That's
come on.
It's never good when you're giving a speech and
not paying attention to the words that are coming out.
And in the middle of the speech, you have a line that says, "Flip record over now."
Yeah. Turn page.
I've made some embarrassing mistakes while speaking, like reading off of a piece of paper. I've read stage directions as dialogue. I did that in early days. I had a character whose name was Reg, as in Reggie, who I called Reg, as in regular size.
Okay, fair enough.
Which they told me only after I had recorded the whole thing and said it about 26 times, I think because they wanted to keep the tape. I think they were...
This guy's in the sound booth.
I was confidently wrong for the entire recording. Confidently wrong. Like leaning into it. This is good stuff I'm laying down here. And just the whole thing was wrong.
Oh, now I'm going to be paranoid about my voice.
I don't do a lot of voice work. I have a wonderful voice, but apparently not a very good reader phonetically.
Yeah, phonics are
tough, man.
Phonics are hard, man.
So as it stands now, as our Strait of Hormuz watch.
Open?
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Closed?
I just, once again, this seems like the kind of thing that should be easy to know, and it isn't, which is confusing to me. Although the Iranians attacked a Saudi oil ship in the Red Sea, which, would you know the geography at all there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a considerable distance from the Strait of Hormuz.
It's quite far. Yeah,
a considerable distance. It's like, they're around the end of the peninsula there, up in the other sea. And, this is going to not get better.
No, it's going to get much worse.
Yeah, and Donald Trump's insistence that the Iranians are begging for a deal doesn't seem...
Truthful?
I don't even know if it's truthful at this point. I think it's...
realistic?
Well, I think he just gets away by saying, while it's pouring rain every single day for 6 months, he gets away with saying, hey, the rain's easing up. It's going to be sunny tomorrow. Yeah. Rain's easing up. Going to be sunny tomorrow. And everyone just sits there going, I guess it's going to be sunny tomorrow. And it's never fucking sunny tomorrow.
No. But that's what happens when you get rid of all the real journalists. I did enjoy, I have to say, my favorite thing was him sitting there having to sit through the speech when they were giving the award to the person who was getting the award. For busting Donald Trump.
Yeah.
For being a perv. And he's like, and he didn't know what to do with his dumb face. And
it was a moment where he did his traditional what are you gonna do smile. Yeah,
it's not, I think he thinks it's cute and adorable. I want to know, I wish that we could see his self-image. Like, I wish that we could project what he thinks he looks like.
Well, I think
we could have a little understanding of what's going on inside that weird
I don't think he ever looks back and reflects on anything. His browser history is an etch-a-sketch. Like, he just does not look back, and there, because if he did look back, all of a sudden you have to be accountable for all of it, right? And so he doesn't look back at all. Everything's just forward progress. Doesn't matter what he said yesterday. He'll say something else tomorrow. There's always another thing. It's always forward progress. But as a result, I don't think he's ever painted himself into quite the corner he's managed to paint himself into now. But what's really incredible,
I think he's going to walk through that wet paint. I don't think he cares.
All of these Republicans that he's primaried and he's ending their careers in disgrace are still voting with him.
Yep.
It's
still money to be made.
Well, I don't know who actually runs the world, but whoever is doing it has got firm control.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's Donald Trump who is insisting that all these Republicans support fascism. I don't think it's Trump. I think there's the moneyed interests are still making money on this.
Yeah, that's the problem. When Trump is gone, the apparatus that supported him is all still in place. So it's not like, smooth sailing. I'm like, no.
No.
Look behind the curtain. See what the people behind the curtain are doing. That's what we need to worry about.
It's just
It's so weird. I don't get it.
I wish we could get back to a level of understanding about all governments, and that if you're lucky enough to live in a country where you feel like you have any ability to shape your government through vote or through participation or whatever, you're already doing better than most people, right? Because most countries, you don't have a hope of fucking hell of changing anything anywhere. But, in Canada, we may or may not have the ability, but there are people that you can see clear examples of who have shown up every day and they have made a difference in their country. Jack Layton comes to mind as a guy. He dropped dead of cancer, but before that, people made fun of him riding his bike to the city council office. But he just stuck with it. And he inspired, certainly me, inspired a lot of people. And that did change the country. Might not be dramatically, but the whole point of government is if you're going to represent the people you're arguing against are always going to be the moneyed interests.
Yeah.
The people that are just looking for the government to facilitate their capitalism. And I think, to my way of thinking, as someone who leans a little bit further left, is that the government's there, yes, to help facilitate business, but also to get my fucking cut.
Yes.
I want my cut.
Yeah.
I want my cut. I don't care what you do. I mean, hey, dig a fucking coal mine. God bless you, dig a coal mine. I'll give you the approval for the coal mine, but give me my fucking cut.
Yeah, why did we help pay for all these satellites so that all these
data centers,
telecom companies can then?
God bless you. God bless you, Meta.
Why is my cell bill so high when I helped build all that infrastructure with my tax dollars?
That's my point. Is why are communities who are saying, okay, to, Meta, you can build your giant data center here.
But Sarah Connor was trying to blow up. It's all coming true.
We get equity. You make all the investment and give us some equity. We're going to be owners in this because that way we got a fucking say in what happens. Because especially if you're getting, massive tax abatement, we shouldn't have to pay taxes because we want to build something poisonous in your town. I mean, what the fuck, man? Ugh. What's frustrating is I've been watching, I don't know what's happened in the States with these flock cameras. Every single car that goes by, it's like, there's Larry on his way to wherever, and there's Debbie on her way to whatever. And so it's capable, right? If you power it up, it's capable of kind of keeping track of where everybody goes all the time.
You can be like, pick out all the cars with bumper stickers that are like pro-Trump, or pick out all the cars with bumper stickers that are anti-Trump. It's like, let's follow them around.
Well, also, now that we've arrested you for breaking a window, now we're going to let the computer see any other thing that you did while you were in your car ever. It does seem a little, why? Right. And their argument is like, well, if somebody's, involved in a high-speed chase or does something, it can find a stolen car. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But it seems like a pretty big investment to track down the 30 stolen cars a year you're doing in your town.
This is preventing any crime. It's letting you find some criminals, which is
it's
fine.
All post-op.
You track down women that have had abortions. They use
Speaking of post-op. But that's what it is. It seems like a giant pile of money to catch a bunch of people that we wouldn't have been terribly upset with if they'd gotten away with it.
It's all profoundly stupid. Although
now they're worried that they're going to be tracking people as well. It's fun watching the city council meetings in America. How many of them are, I guess you're just kind of used to people not showing up. So when all of a sudden the room's full of people and they all want to make a comment, how quickly they all seem to want to find a way for there not to be allowed to be any kind of public comments, because they just know they're about to get yelled at for 3 hours, no matter what the issue is. If the room at the city council meeting is full of citizens, no one's there to be like, you guys are terrific.
Yeah, we love what you're doing.
And I just wanted to come by, and I was hoping you'd raise my property taxes. You can just keep doing the Lord's work.
We would like a bigger data center, if possible. Can you put it right in Central Park? It would be gorgeous.
I've seen a few remarkably well-informed citizens making comments at meetings about data centers. And one of them is this guy. He just laid out all the facts. He's like, have you noticed it's always 200 jobs? Why is it 200 jobs? Because 200 jobs is enough that it helps your tax base, but it's not so much that it ruins your school system. That number was decided on very carefully, and it's part of the marketing plan. Yeah. And you realize, of course it is. Of course it is. Because, Meta, I'm sure, is spending a lot of money on their public strategy campaign to how we get these things built.
Well, there's a
Or
lot of
Grok or
promises,
whoever
like
the
we're going to
hell.
bring this. Like, I think anytime a corporation's like, we're going to bring in like X amount of dollars, we're going to create X number of jobs. It's like, okay, if you don't, there should be consequences.
Yeah.
There should be severe financial penalties. Like,
You
we
shouldn't
gave you
just
a
be able to
deal.
say, oh, it didn't work out. We're closing up
You
and
didn't
leaving.
hold up your end of the deal.
I think municipalities should fight for equity.
Yes.
Yeah. We own half the data center.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
We own the ones. You can have the zeros. We own the ones.
Or they should just, I mean, you know, you want to do true capitalism, you should, you know, make them pay a premium for the electricity.
Make them pay a premium for the electricity. Make them pay a premium for the water. If
Yeah.
they're only using water because it's cheap, and if you make it
Yeah.
not cheap, they will be forced to find something else.
Yeah.
And leave our sweet, delicious water alone.
Water's going to be a big issue.
Water's going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
Mad Max has taught us anything.
Well, gas
Sure.
gas already is an issue.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a price issue at this point. But yeah, water is key. Somebody. Okay, so going back to this thing with the internet is I like kind of poking the Americans with a stick a little bit. And there's two things that I found very entertaining. One was they said the only reason you exist is because of us, which just on its base is kind of a ridiculous argument. It's like look at all the Canadian cities; they're all huddled up against the border, and I'm like, every city in the world is put there because there's a water source.
Yeah, water, and also it gets much colder when you move further up. So,
well, not just that, but like all of the American cities that are on the other side of the border from that Canadian city are there for the exact same reason. There's a river or a lake or whatever. It's just common sense. Well, it's wherever, you know, you hop in a canoe and it's where you ended up. Yeah. Oh, we'll call it Vancouver.
Perfect.
So same thing, Winnipeg. Right? We'll call it Winnipeg. I don't know why. Right? I don't know why, but we will.
It means land of giant bugs.
The other big one is Americans keep saying, we protect you. I get a lot of that comment. We protect you. That
you're the scariest ones.
America is protecting Canada. My reaction is, from who? But what I'm starting to realize is that for the last 25 years, since 9/11, America has been told every day that they should be scared.
Yes.
And that people are coming for them.
Yeah, there's the scared.
And I don't think any population can withstand that over time. And I think as a result, they see threats everywhere, even though they can't name them specifically.
Well, they're terrified of everything.
That's the thing. It's like, who are we protecting you from? Like, I've been here my whole life, and not once has anyone ever said, look out, missiles coming.
Yeah, I've never been like, is that the Chinese army coming over the hill?
And now there, you can make the argument that if America didn't have so many missiles that nobody wants to attack it, that China would have invaded Canada. And I don't buy it. China built a wall around its country. That kind of tells you everything about their mindset, right?
It's a great wall.
Stay off our lawn.
This is ours.
Yeah, and they don't really seem to have an expansion ethos. Although the South China Sea people might argue different.
I mean, yeah, Taiwan is like, we beg to differ.
I admire what China's doing in the South China Sea, is because you can't really claim ocean, right? But if you have an island, you can claim ocean. And so if you have an island, you can stand on your island and you can point in every direction 100 miles and say, mine, 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 mine. So what China's doing is they're building these little islands that are like patio stones. And every time they build an island, they're like 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. And then they build another one 80 miles away, 100 miles, 100. And so basically they're like patio stoning their way into taking over the entire ocean.
I mean, technically France could take over a little bit of Canada because of some of those islands that are still French.
Do we have French islands still?
Saint-Pierre and Miquelon, are they still French?
Where are they? And they're still technically French territory.
France,
yeah, but if they ever like piped up about it, I mean, fuck you. We'll take it.
I'm scared of France.
I like the idea of having France. I like France because France is no country in the world does a better job of saying no, fuck you, we're not going to do that. Why? Because we're French. We just don't feel like it.
The Americans, like, they're so lazy. I'm like, no, it sounds like they figured it out.
Yeah.
They figured you guys are just mad.
Yeah.
Because your life sucks.
Whenever
you look around the world and you're told that America's amazing.
It's usually not someone that actually knows anything, but a lot of American politicians will be like, "What, do you want to live like they do in Europe?"
Yeah.
And there's a reason why people save up their whole fucking lives to go to Europe.
6 weeks of vacation, socialized medicine.
Yeah, it's July right now, and everyone in Germany has already been on vacation for 4 weeks, and they've got 4 more weeks of it coming.
It's like,
they are drinking beer out of oversized novelty steins and eating sausages for the entire summer. While Americans are, I don't know, just sitting around working their 40.
Yeah, just asking for someone to unlock everything at Walgreens.
Hey man, I got 6 shifts at the Chick-fil-A this week. I am sitting pretty. Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
Any benefits? No.
Yum.
Yeah. So, I also got into a nice little conversation with my dad about the tariffs. My dad's an old school capitalist boomer style guy. And he was saying, like, oh, well, the American car companies didn't even want to build cars in Canada. I'm like, really? Because it's cheaper. He's like, what do you mean it's cheaper? I'm like, you don't have to pay for healthcare.
Yeah.
It's like cheaper. A 25% discount on your labor costs. And he looked at me, and it was like it was the first time it ever dawned on him. But the reason why you make cars in Canada is because you don't have to pay the fucking healthcare costs associated with it. It's like getting a discount. Plus, you get a discount on the dollar.
Yes.
It's a fucking great deal to build cars in Canada. And that's the great untold thing for the Americans. Your system is less than ideal. Why? Because you cripple small businesses with having to figure out how to choose healthcare for their employees when the government could just take that burden off of every business's back for you.
Why is your job in charge of your health care? It's the dumbest thing.
Because that was the easiest way to build a system.
It's dumb.
Right? Is to give somebody else the responsibility of paying for it. Probably did make sense 100 years ago. It doesn't make sense now, especially because when you go from job to job, your healthcare goes either away or... I mean, there are people that take jobs pretty much for the healthcare. I mean, that's even true in Canada. I know people that... if they have kids that have health issues, and so as a result, they're never going to leave their job because they have really good health benefits at that job.
Yeah, the Giants' benefits are quite stupid. Stupidly good.
And that's another thing Americans don't understand is we have private insurance in Canada. You can live like a big fat VIP on your fancy insurance, or you can just be a regular person who gets health care.
I mean, it's the difference between you go to the hospital, you're in a room with a bunch of people, or you got good benefits, so you get a private room. You're still getting health care. It's just a little bit nicer. A little bit nicer.
And the great thing about the system that we have like that is the people who want to be fancy, by spending that money, they help subsidize everybody else who just wants to show up.
Yes,
I don't argue that there are areas in our healthcare system that should be privatized because it can be efficient and quick. But I don't like what Alberta's doing, where they're really trying to create a system where if you're rich, you can kind of sidestep the whole operation.
Yeah. But, I don't mind rich people from buying their way into better services.
Well, I don't mind everybody.
It's not impossible.
Well, it's like what happens at
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Have to curb it.
Right? It's what happens at Disneyland. You can buy a pass and you can go on the rides. Or you can buy a pass that allows you to skip the line on a certain number of rides.
I did it at Canada's Wonderland one time.
Or you can buy a pass that lets you skip lines everywhere. Or you can get a specialty novelty pass if you're in a wheelchair that just lets you come in and do it. There's 18 levels of priority in VIP. And at some point, if you're just the regular person, you're just a fucking chump who paid the cover.
I felt so guilty when I got the fast pass at Canada's Wonderland, but then after the first line I bypassed, I'm just like, bye chumps.
I will say with our passes, I think you get fast track, every hour and a half or something. It's you get a certain number of them, per day or per ticket or whatever. We use them kind of as our nuclear weapons for we really want to do this ride and there's a really long line, right? So we'd use it there.
Smart.
Yeah, and if it was a weaker ride, we'll just wait, because usually we would like to use the fast pass for the second. You wait in line to ride it, and then if it was really awesome, we'd be like, all right, let's do that one again. Yeah, we'll do another lap on that.
Nice.
We did luck out because there was a rainstorm. And everybody in Florida apparently melts. So they all ran away from the rain. Everybody went inside. And we got to go on the, it was like a train, mountain, roller coaster thing. It was some sort of Western theme. It might have been, for some reason, I'm thinking about Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Rice Krispies, guys.
Kellogg's?
I think it might just be the hat that guy's got on. Is that what it is?
Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain. And it was a great ride. But because it was raining, it was off like on its own in the park, and everyone had run away into the like food buildings and stuff to get out of the Florida downpour. And so we just decided, screw it. And we did it in the rain. It was like, it's like kind of a half indoor, half outdoor ride. So we're getting nailed by the rain.
Give us the thunder.
We got to ride it like 9 times in a row. We were literally like jumping off of the train and then running right around back onto the train again. It was so awesome.
Glorious.
Well, when you get to do something like that, we went on that thing 6 times in a row in 40 minutes, and it seemed like we were like working the system.
I did once, this was like a corporate sponsored event, go to the Islands of Adventure in like Orlando. And they closed off the park for it. They wouldn't let us in the whole thing.
The old Michael Jackson treatment.
Like go here and then go here. And then there was like free food everywhere, just like buffets set up, and then like free booze. So you'd like chug a beer, run on a roller coaster with no line, chug another beer. Run on another. It was amazing.
I never do well with free booze. I never do well because
we paid for the tickets, but we schmoozed we managed to sit at a table for a free. We're students, so we were looking for free stuff all the time. Yeah. So it was like a free talk, free dinner, some drug company, and we happened to sit with like the president of the company. Oh, yeah. And I somehow schmoozed him and got like 20 free tickets for this thing that all these people had paid for. And we're like, yeah,
that happens.
Glorious.
I will say that does happen at gigs every once in a while where you show up at the gig and they've got drink tickets. So the guy pulls you off an arm's length of drink tickets, and it's like, I mean,
I got
if you need me to ruin the show, you could just ask nicely. You don't have to ply me with an arm's length of bourbon.
Adorable. Chuck, should we wrap this?
I think we should wrap it up.
All right.
I think we should wrap it up.
Let's just wrap it up. I was going to wrap it up with another.
Do you have
something positive?
Something positive. Something that is ideal in our.
This was my favorite ideal thing that happened. It was Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con last weekend.
Okay.
The big Comic-Con and
where they do all the announcements.
They do all the announcements, all the new trailers come out. The new Spaceballs movie.
Oh, I am excited about
the reaction that Rick Moranis got.
That's got to be
when he showed up. I was just like, Rick Moranis is back. He's out of retirement. That totally made I was like, this is ideal.
I think my favorite part of Rick Moranis coming out of retirement is the level of excitement about Rick Moranis coming out of retirement, because there's so many people that grew up on him.
Yeah, and there's no dirt on Rick Moranis.
No.
Where'd he go? It's like when he was raising his family because his wife died. He's a good man.
Yeah.
Back in the Ghostbusters 2, Rick Moranis. No one's I'm gonna be so disappointed if he gets outed as a sex pest. But I would also be wildly surprised if that happens. I will.
Is there anyone that who's been outed as a sex pest that you were happy about versus sad about?
Well, I'm always happy when people are outed, but there's a few that I'm like, oh no, I have to. I love your stuff, and now I can't consume any of it.
Yeah, there is. I mean, generally speaking, a lot of the people that got
my problem with Kevin Spacey is just I was way too old. Like I was out of his interest range at the point where like Kevin Spacey could have helped my career. It's like you're too.
Okay.
That's really
never quite taught enough.
I was just a little out of his age range.
That's the thing is, some of them you just kind of miss out on, and some of them are disappointing. Some of them are.
I'm fine with the transactional relationship. I was like, what movie will I get? Okay. But I would also like a contract. It's like, if I give you this blowjob, it means I'm getting this movie.
I mean, there's some people that I don't think got enough justice applied to them, and there's some people that I thought maybe a little too much justice was applied to him. The one guy I missed was Al Franken. I was hoping Al Franken was.
Al Franken barely did anything and copped out. I was like, this is what happened. This is the thing. It seemed very just.
Yeah, he's a reasonable person, but he's a bad place to be as American politics as a reasonable person.
Well, I just walk the walk, so.
I wanted him to run for president for no other reason than he was the only guy that could convincingly just laugh right in the right wing's face.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that is ideal.
That is ideal. Rick Moranis is ideal.
Rick Moranis is ideal. Yeah. And kudos to another Canadian, Ryan Reynolds, for reaching into the barrel and kind of forcing him back out with his Mint Mobile commercials with Rick Moranis. I thought that was a very nice play.
I haven't seen any of those. But
he just brought him back to it, literally just, hey, it's Rick Moranis. It's just him standing there in a commercial being Rick Moranis. It's absolutely perfect. And he was right. I'm sure with the pitch is, trust me, if Rick Moranis just stands there, people are going to feel good. People are going to feel good. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Mm-hmm. They should do more of those too.
They did more than I realized.
Yeah, they did like 3 or 4 of them, I think.
Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. I'm like,
I mean, once you figure out the coding for making the people smaller on film, you may as well max out your value. That's the thing. So I don't know if we won't be back in this format.
No, this is it.
This is it. We're closing it out on 31. It's been a hell of a ride, though.
It's been a good ride.
It's been fun.
It's been fun preparing.
I would say in the 31 plus hours of content that we have created, there have easily been 31 plus moments worth remembering.
Right.
I just can't recall any of them right now.
Not a single one. I'm sure the internet will remind us. Our fan will let us know.
Yeah. Just remember, if we offend you in even the slightest way politically, I'm retarded and he's gay.
Yeah. And that's what you're really mad about, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, them gay retards. They don't even know. They don't even know.
Bliss.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.